Welcome everyone to Lights of Miiva, episode 58. My name is Sam Lander, I'll be your GM, and I have some players.
My name is Zerto, playing Lumi, the negotiating druid.
I am Suda, playing Riisha, the roguelord.
I am Mia, playing Beraald, ranger, and with a giant raccoon companion named Lucy.
Hi, I am Sadie, playing Zari, the paladin barbarian.
And I'm Ashes, and I play Iberkeet, the divination wizard.
Who is very divine, or trying to be at least. So, last time you guys hired a ship to get to a place, basically as close to Haifa as you could get with a ship. And there is an argument that by some people that it's flying, although some of you don't believe that. I need to join this. There we go. And that's kind of everything that happened last time. There we go. Haha. Mia figured out how to hit the button. Or something. Anyway, so we didn't get a review, so I don't actually remember where we left off at the end of last session.
We were telling Beraald about Murgle
the Boule.
Oh, right.
We had just walked in on the butler having a talking down to Tiasa, who has been exposed to be undergoing the lichification that
Right. You guys were talking about. Oh, you guys were informing Beraald about the house on Haunted Street, I believe. Before heading to, you were heading in town. Oh, right, to the new Blue Rock Adventures Guild.
Yes.
Now I remember where the session ended. Okay, we're good. So you guys are walking across town, telling Beraald all about it. I don't know if Mia, if you had any chance to listen to the episodes. It's not important, one way or the other. But about the time that the story is ending, with much discussed by several of the characters, then you guys pull up to a building. It has a recently repaired roof. It's got a couple of people working on like placing a window in one of the open windows. Looks like it's just oiled paper. It's not a glass window. And this building is about the same size as the Blue Rock that you remember, in much worse condition. Although with the new roof on top, it looks like it's at least dry. Gonna head inside.
Yeah. Lumi goes up to the door, does shaving a haircut, and opens the door.
Inside is a fairly deserted room in the front of the building. I probably should have made this building, but I completely blanked on where you guys left off, so that's my own fault. It looks like it has somebody's taken some chalk or similar and is like drawn on the floor in the shape of probably where they want to add walls. There's an X on a couple of other walls. There is a door that has a beautifully crafted wooden plaque that is roughly nailed to the door that says office. And then there is also another door that is leading into another room, but it looks like that doorway is off of its hinges, and somebody is currently trying to like get the flashing or whatever, the bits of the door off of where it was, and that's one of the walls that has an X on it.
This has seen better days. A lot worse too, but yeah. And Lumi goes like in the remembrance they're trying to figure out what the devil was in this building before Miiva got abandoned.
That would be for before Miiva got abandoned. That would be a very high history roll because you were quite young. If you want to remember what the condition was in this building, I think you guys may have hid out in this building a little bit. If you want to remember what this building's condition was before Miiva was being rebuilt, that would be a much lower DC history roll.
16 for childhood remembrance.
You walked past this building. It had shop energy.
Things in the windows and people coming going.
Right. But not shop energy where you went in with it.
Yeah.
There is evidenced in the back of the open doorway on the left. You can see what looks like probably a staircase leading up to a second floor. Looking up at the ceiling above you, you're not sure you would trust a second floor on this. You're not sure you would trust if you went on to a second floor that you would not end up on the first floor again.
Oh, sorry. It took me a second to understand that. That was great.
Guys heading over to the office?
Yeah. Lumi would probably go, hello? Anybody home?
Does anybody remember what it was? Afternoon? Morning? What time of day was it?
It was early in the afternoon.
It was early in the afternoon. Okay. Lumi, you call out. There's a very long pause. And after a few seconds, oh boy. Found it. Notes. After a few seconds, Arpy opens up her office and peers out at your group. Riisha's apparently hiding in the corner. She looks you over and goes, "Oh, you're back in town. Good.
Briefly. Heading off tomorrow.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to add Streamlabs as a okay. I'll figure that out off stream.
Apologies.
No, you're fine. That was the
Okay.
correct answer. It was just that, yeah. Anywho,
New things are happening today.
yes,
It's a
new things are
little
happening. We're trying some experiments. If you guys want, if those of you who watch this on YouTube would like to see the episodes happen live, you can come over to twitch.tv/Salamander and watch the episodes live. But that's neither here nor there. She's like, well, are you going to be? Are you going to be? Are you going to be in town? Briefly, how long are you going to be in town?
I said leaving tomorrow.
Oh, sorry. It's been a stressful few weeks. All right. Well, come on in. I'm assuming you have news, and probably I would want some news as well.
Stressful couple of weeks. Tell me about it. Apparently, I was a stone for a day.
A stone for a day, like a little rock, or a statue?
We ran into a thing in Ava. It came from the things that fell out of the sky. It was
Sure.
a big eyeball with a bunch of little eyeballs on it.
Beholder.
And oh, that's what they're called? Okay.
Yeah, because they behold things.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Well, anyway, it beheld Lumi, and he was so shocked by it that he turned into a statue. He got better, though.
I almost want to make you give me a deception check, because that's what happened to Iberkeet, not to Lumi. But I think, yeah, misremembering is more the answer.
There's been a lot of things happen.
All right, so you guys fill her in on what's been going on. She as she sits down behind a very ramshackle desk, she offers chairs. There's enough for 3 of you. Zari, you don't trust that they would hold your weight. And Lucy's already sitting in one of them.
I sit on the floor.
I put foot on wall, lean on foot stance.
Right. So she kind of catches you up a little bit on what's been going on. Now that spring has sprung, a lot of people out planting. There have been a few Bulette attacks on town, but the town guard has mostly been able to take care of it.
What? I'm sorry. There have been Bulette attacks.
Yes. Only 3 or 4.
Okay.
And Beraald looks at the group.
Do you happen to know the name of any of the Bulettes?
I believe only my boulette has a name in this region.
Okay. Okay, we're sure. We're sure it wasn't. Go ahead.
Although I do remember someone talking about there's this old boulette in the area called Big Chomper.
Okay.
Twice the size of any other boulette. Could eat a Vuji in one bite.
Oh boy, that none of this is helping. Lucy, come here.
And just motions for Lucy to come close. Whether she does is
I'm
Don't
sorry.
take her so seriously, Beraald. She's only half pulling your leg.
Okay.
The other half is being pulled by a boulet.
Oh, normally I appreciate jokes like that. I'm so sorry I interrupted. Please continue. My apologies. Hello, I'm
just
Beraald.
looking back and forth between you. You know Arpy, Beraald. You were a member of the Blue Rock Adventurers Guild as well. And so Arpy's like looking back and forth between you and goes, I see some personnel changes have happened. Have you all joined the Sea Slugs, or has Beraald joined the Lights of Miiva, or is this more of a temporary thing?
I don't know. And Lumi just looks over at Beraald. I think we're still the Knights of Miiva, but I don't know about Beraald.
Oh, yeah, I don't know either. I have definitely joined with the Light of Miiva. Have to be honest. As as is evidenced, I'm extremely concerned about my raccoon friend here. We had a pretty negative experience with a bullet in the with the sea slugs. So am I talking a lot? I don't know. I'm here with the Lights of Miiva.
Okay, good. I will make a note of that. Where are the rest of the sea slugs?
That is a very, very good question. They are off doing their own things.
They were in
Mia,
volley last
can't
time.
remember.
We saw them.
They were where?
They were in volley last time we saw them.
Thank you.
Iberkeet had a conversation with one of them recently with some newer news. I think she shared that with Beraald.
Last Beraald saw the sea slugs. They were outside of Haifa.
Right. Last time Beraald saw them, they were outside of Haifa, and then you got teleported elsewhere.
Right.
And then
Right.
Iberkeet did ascending and found out that the sea slugs were no longer on this prime material plane.
Oh my God. Did I not have that down? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so I genuinely don't know because apparently they're no longer like here on this plane.
That's less than good. Did they do it on purpose?
Iberkeet, what did it seem like they did it on purpose?
If they were on a different plane, I didn't actually get in contact with them, right?
No, you did. Sending works across planes.
Oh, okay.
He just has a failure chance. But yeah, you talked to Moo's character, whose name I have completely forgotten.
Yeah.
Zeka.
Zeka, yes.
She's the only one whose name I can never remember.
Right?
Right.
She told you guys that they were in the Feywild.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And she didn't give me any indication as to why, right?
Right. She also
Or
didn't give you any indication of why or how or if they were in trouble because she ran out of words.
Right.
Oh,
it was a long rambling message that just abruptly cut off. Okay. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, no, I don't know.
She's like, okay, I'll make that as a note, and there may be a job in the future to recover them if I get in contact and they need help. Not that we have a lot of money to be giving out. Missions. The Blue Rocks coffers are currently light. Being as we were taxpayer subsidized adventuring guild, and now we have no city to gain taxes to subsidize the adventuring guild, so we're gonna have to be a hunters guild. I think we'll be okay to convert into a hunters guild probably this fall. But you all are welcome to join in that, or I guess it depends on what you're doing. I don't have any missions that I can pay you for, unfortunately, right now. Unless you want to go hunt bullets for their skin and hide and teeth.
So right now, I believe we are tasked by one of the counselors of Volley to explore the the holes in Haifa with a regiment of their soldiers and her advisor.
That sounds good. If you wouldn't mind getting me in contact with them, I can at least get some information to and or from them. I don't have any contacts with Volley.
The counselor or the advisor? Because we can get the advisor here.
Honestly, whichever would be more easily contactable. If the advisor's here in town, then I would appreciate it if I could have a meeting with them before they left.
Yes, the advisors here in town. They had a slight mishap with the teleportation circle.
You guys talk about amongst yourself. I'm gonna go get her, and Lumi just goes.
Okay. So, as Lumi heads out the door, I heard a rumor of hamburger. I didn't get more information than that. The people who I asked looked ill.
Are you talking about that meat, the sausage meat?
There, yes, there was a mishap. So there were several squads of volley security forces that came through, and the last one had a mishap, and the advisor survived. The rest of the troopers did not.
Oh, they turned into hamburger. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Understood.
that explains several things. Do we know why?
We're unsure. We think it might be interference from the wild magic in Haifa.
So what you're saying is don't use the teleportation circle to go to Volley. Or Ava.
Not in quick succession.
Good to note, and she literally takes a note. I don't suppose any of you have heard from Gamel in the last several months, because I have been unable to contact him.
No.
Or Kohar?
Unfortunately not. We didn't find anyone in Haifa.
Okay.
Anyone that was mortal.
Okay. And about this time, okay, so Beraald, we'll cut away to you. Okay, how are you getting across town? Just as human Beraald, or Faye and Beraald, or
Lumi.
are you? Not
Lumi
Beraald.
went,
Lumi.
not Beraald.
Not Beraald. I don't know why my brain.
Oh, I was like, walking?
No, Lumi went. Not Beraald. I don't know why my brain did that. Anyway, I think it's because you both have green skin. That's what I'm going to blame it on.
Done.
Right. So Lumi, quick walk across town, or quick flight, or another animal form?
Brisk jog-ish.
Okay. It takes you
somewhere between a quick walk and a slow jog.
it takes you like 10-ish minutes to get there. It's not that far across town. You see the troop, they look like they're packing up to get ready to go. Probably half of them are no longer here, and you get waved on through towards the room, and you see boy. Iris, thank you. One day, my great dream is that one day I will remember NPC names. That's my entire goal as a GM, that I will someday remember my NPC names without having to be reminded or look it up. You see Iris digging through a extra dimensional space of some sort, because she pulls something out, she adds it to the book she has at her side. She grabs something from her book, she puts it into her pack. she looks like she's organizing something. And she looks up as you enter and closes both the book and the bag that she's got, and says, Lumi, how can I help you?
I have a small, not sure if it counts as a favor, but a small favor to ask. RP, the local leader of what remains of the Blue Rock Adventurers Guild, would like to have a chat. I think they want to maybe get some communications somehow between Miiva and Vali.
She nods. All right, I'm just about done here. She makes a quick hand signal to somebody else in the room, who nods and then heads out. And she's like, "All right, lead me there."
Yep, and he will walk back and make small talk about wounds and muscle healing and soreness and stiffness.
Iris looks like she's listening to you, but she isn't joining much in this conversation. She's definitely letting you talk, but she's not like trying to deeply engage with it. And so about 20 minutes later, you guys hear the front door open. The office door is still open. RP leans over a little bit so that she can see the front door, and then stands up as Lumi and another person who she doesn't recognize, of course, walk in.
Hi, RP. RP, this is Iris. Iris, this is RP.
RP gives a short, like, half bow. Iris gives kind of a nod, and says, you wanted to make contact. Who did you? I mean, hello. I guess I am Iris, attendant to, wow, my brain. Attendant to Bitra of Volley. It's nice to meet you. It seems well, it seems. And RP nods and goes, "Yeah, I know we're in rough shape, but it's hard to establish an adventurers guild when you don't have a town to establish it in. But I was wondering, the adventurers that are here, we are willing to be eyes and ears for you, but we need ways of contacting back to Volley, and honestly, we could use reinforcements as well." Iris goes, that makes sense. Bide a moment. And she mutters something to herself. And a few moments later, RP tips her head and goes, "Thank you. That was helpful. I will remember this contact." and Iris nods. Iberkeet, anybody who has Arcana trained can roll.
Ooh, that is not me.
With a 12, sending seems likely. Sending seems likely. That's RP goes, "Well, I won't take a lot of your time. It's good to meet you, Iris. I will be in contact, and if you ever need anything from the Blue Rock Adventurers Guild, let us know. Iris goes, all right. We'll be heading out of town today, but I will let you know I'll let you know the outcome. Either way, seems like that it's important for this place to have knowledge of what's going on in Haifa. And Iris walks back out. Arpy looks over you all and says, I do have one adventure I could send you on. Even pay you.
Retrieving the coffers from the Haifa branch?
Yes. If you could I will give you information on how to find and retrieve the coffer from the Haifa branch, and I would appreciate if you did not keep more than 10% and returned the rest. I will trust your accounting. Should be at least 10,000 brass, mostly in gems, though.
I could do with a couple more opals.
We are pretty much fresh out. We didn't have a lot to start off with, but I know.
Was thinking maybe in the if there happened to be any in the coffers, I would probably nab some there.
I didn't have a good accounting of them. Kohar had the accounting. Unfortunately, Kohar is missing, and so they can't tell me what's in the coffers. Give me a few. It's not complex instructions, but they're very specific. And she sits back down at her desk and starts writing out on a piece of parchment. It starts off with a magical formula, like a magical formula in Draconic, and then some relatively simple instructions. She blows the sheet dry to set the ink, and then hands it over to whoever goes to take it. This should get you to the coffers and past the defenses, assuming the defenses are still working.
Yep, we'll try to make time to stop by on our trip, either in or out.
She nods. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll let you know if I have any other jobs for you next time you're in town, since you're going to be leaving so soon.
Yeah, I sort of kind of wish it was for a longer time, but we have quite a big job ahead of us.
Yeah, if you can make Haifa safe, it would help significantly for Miiva, even if Haifa itself does not reestablish. I am coming to like this place, but having trade downriver would be very good.
As long as we save the river.
Yeah. There was something about it flowing the wrong direction? Doesn't make much sense.
Yep, it's going into one of the holes.
Oh. Well, that makes sense. And also very bad. You'll have to let me know where the holes go.
That is what we are investigating.
Good.
They go underground.
She smiles at you, Iberkeet. Thank you. And just kind of chuckles. And then she
Right. Evening rest, then bright and early tomorrow. Yes, please. And Lumi shuffles off.
she's back at her desk, and she appears to be working on something, like taking notes.
I'd like to announce that Lumi would probably have taken the scroll, but just basically turned around and handed it off to Ibrikit.
All right, Ibrikit, please make a investigation roll, please. DC is low, but there's always
That's
a natural
one of the ones I get to add a D4 to.
Oh my goodness. You know, it's a good thing that you cannot critically fail an investigation roll, because somehow you manage to roll a minimum. With a DC 5, though, you still succeed. So the magical incantation is basically you're relatively certain, reading the rest of the instructions, that it is the pass key to open an extra dimensional space, and the rest of the page is instructions on like where to stand in the room, and you have to hit a certain panel of wood and hold it in a certain way while saying the incantation, and then a extra dimensional space will open up to allow you to reach in. And there is a activation word, forget the actual term, at the bottom that will disgorge the contents of the space without having to know what's inside of it. So that is what it is. You think that pretty much anybody could follow this, so probably a good idea to keep track of where this paper is.
Okay.
At least until you empty out the place. All right, you guys head back to the Griffin. As it's now evening, place is picking back up with people coming back in from the fields. It smells of sweat and dirt. Amari, there's the name, is seated at one of the tables talking with another one of the guard. Padragain has is sitting on a chair in the wrong way, kind of in the back of the room, just kind of watching the room. And you guys recognize several, townies. Edvard has come into the room and is just toying with an emerald that is fairly large, and he's got a spoon in one hand. He's shoveling food in with it, mostly not watching that, while he is like rolling the emerald a facet and then writing something on a piece of paper, and then rolling the emerald another facet and writing something on a piece of paper, and then twisting it 45 degrees and rolling in a facet and writing something on a piece of paper. Looks like he is deep in whatever he is doing. And yeah, there's definitely a much lower presence of non-Feyan people this evening than there were in previous evenings during the time off. In fact, there are no non-Feyans here at this point, other than Edvard, and Serva.
Do I know Serva?
Yes, sorry. Serva is another member of the Salty Circle. He is a Warforged, although that's not the right name for my setting. It's a common enough. It's you would know who that, like, you as a player know what a Warforged is. My wife and I are homebrewing stuff in the background that I'm not quite ready to reveal yet, but yes. So Serva is a Warforged. He's a member of the Salty Circle. So he is a friend of Edvard. And he's just kind of sitting at the same table as Edvard, and occasionally making a comment that Edvard is like completely oblivious to. As you guys come into the room, you're handed porridge and salted meat. The salted meat tends to be in the porridge, as in like stuck in the side of it to help rehydrate it.
That is that common?
I mean,
or is this sort of
it's common here. It's not. This is not a dish that Beraald would have grown up with. This is definitely like survival food. This is one step. This is sideways from like trail rations, and mostly because the porridge part of it in trail rations would be in probably the form of like hardtack or other like hard bread. But the salted meat very much feels like trail rations. This is very similar to what you have been eating in town since you guys got back to town.
okay?
But it's plentiful and free. From across the room, somebody yells, "Riisha, there's still no coffee." And Riisha mutters in response.
Lily finds a chair in the corner, looking around, trying to figure out how many is reacting to the fact that he isn't eating this night either.
Nobody in town has seemed to notice. Amari probably would have glanced at that as you like ignored the food and came, but pretty much at this point, Amari has eyes only for Zari, and has kind of trailed off the conversation that they were having with the other person at their table, who gets up, sees that Zari's here, kind of has a half smile, gets up, walks out.
Zari waves.
Amari waves back. Sees that there's not enough places at the table to hold the entire party. And like looks around for chairs. There aren't very many open chairs in this place because people are eating supper after working all day in the field.
Okay, well, I am going to go sit by my partner. You guys catch you later.
Bye.
So Amari has that, you know, that look that people get when they haven't seen their partner very often lately and are really appreciating it, and goes, you guys are headed out tomorrow, right?
Yep.
I don't suppose there's anything I can do to convince you to stay.
Unfortunately not. This is a paid gig. And if we get paid, well, we can bring back some stuff. Arpy also wants us to try to find the coffer in the old Blue Rock.
That would be helpful. People have been mostly satisfied with not getting paid, but they're going to want to get paid soon, especially if the Burgundy Baron can set up trade like the captain claims they can. People are going to want money. How are you doing? Holding up okay?
I'm doing all right. Just a lot going on. I wish it wasn't that much, but save the world and everything. You know what us adventurers get up to.
Yeah. It's a lot more saving the world than I... Feels a lot more like you are actually saving the world, which is why I can't tell you... Which is why I won't ask you to stay, seriously. But keep yourself and your friends safe.
Well, we are going out tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure I could get some sleep on the sky ship. So
They stand up, bow deeply. Will you join me, my dear?
of course.
And they lead. Zari, you are led out of the room, and we'll fade on that conversation. You guys can get up to whatever you two get up to. Iberkeet, you find yourself trying to find a corner to sit in to eat your supper. You find yourself in a chair next to Padragain, who climbs down out of her chair and leans over to you and says, so what is going on in Haifa? It blew up, but what's going on now?
It's full of holes.
That's not reassuring. Is my house still there? You have no idea where her house is.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, good luck, I guess. You going back. Good luck. Maybe you can make it better.
That's the plan.
She nods. It feels so... You ever feel so useless?
No.
Oh. Sorry. And she shuts down and leaves the... She shuts down and curls up on the chair and just kind of stares across the room.
Iberkeet failed their social check.
Yeah. Iberkeet is not the one to go to for comforting.
No, and that is perfectly fine. Beraald, you have had a conversation with Lucy at this point. 3 times where she has tried to sneak behind the bar to get something, and she is currently sitting at the table, giving you the puppy dog. I haven't eaten in 3 weeks. Why do you torture me with not giving me what exactly I want stare?
Lucy, first of all, what have I told you about going behind the counter? Remember?
You can tell she's putting on a quivering lip. She's purposely making her lip quiver, and she goes, "But I'm so hungry."
Okay, honey, I know you have been eating, but would you like some more of my salted meat?
It's so salty though.
I can't argue that. Can I buy you anything else? Is there anything else you would like?
Is there any licorice you could buy?
I will check.
just like there are tears forming in the corners of her eyes.
Oh, honey, you know it is so difficult for me. You're such a cutie pie, but I just need you to just be a little patient right now. Would you like
Yeah, actually, player question.
Yeah.
Obviously. Is there a place like there is a stash of licorice behind this bar, but is there a place
Oh, there's
that actually sells it?
so there is no longer a stash of licorice behind this bar because Lucy yesterday got it and ran out the door with it. So there's that licorice has been eaten. As far as you know in town, I mean, you don't know this town very well. There aren't really shops in town. There are people living here, but there are a couple of like very basic, like the Herbalist Guild has started trying to establish a place. But really, there is no real shopping in town, and so you're fairly confident that there isn't a place to buy licorice unless somebody has it on it. Somebody managed to keep Lucy out of whatever else is behind that bar.
Right. Who was I talking to? Was it I'm trying to remember if it was either Lumi or Eberkeet. Eberkeet, Eberkeet has the bag of holding, correct?
No.
No.
I believe it's Lumi that has the box.
Okay.
Zari
All right.
has the box with the things, and she has the spice pouch, and she has the book of edible
it's-
recipes.
I am so sorry, you guys. Genuinely, I am paying attention. I am just not doing well
You're
with the
fine.
names. All right.
No, it's good.
So Zari has all of the food stuff, and she is
Right.
currently not in this building anymore.
Correct. All right. So this is okay. This is actually going to work for me. Because all right.
So Lucy, you know what we're going to do? First of all, I know what you did yesterday. I know that you took the rest of the licorice. And if you hadn't done that, there may be more today. And I love you, but I'm just telling you. And
Oh, I need to.
what I can do is normally I would talk to Zari about this, but Zari has gone off. So Lumi
and Beraald looks over to talk to Lumi
And sees an
sees the owl.
Yep.
Yes.
and Lumi
And leans in and goes,
Lumi, can you I don't can I talk to you? Do you understand me right now? Okay, that is not really helping. This is a boy, because I just have so many questions. Why did you turn into an owl now? But all right. So, Lucy, honey, it looks like I can't do anything for you right now, and I am so sorry about that. Would you like to go for a walk? Maybe take your mind off of things. Maybe we can find something, some plant that might be tasty.
So please give me an insights
Oh.
check, Beraald.
got it. oh.
So as Lucy starts breaking down into the raccoon equivalent of sobs, you are utterly convinced that she is in dire need of some licorice, and it is just destroying her that she doesn't have anymore. And she like gives you that sniffly, like that thing that people do when they're fake crying, but you believe them kind of. And she's like, I guess I'll be okay if you just give me some more salted meat, but I'm gonna feel really bad about it.
Lucy, oh, you are killing me. Come here, my poor girl.
And reaches down to grab her up. Does she accept?
Oh yeah, she's accepting that, and because you just rolled a natural 1 on your insight check, you don't notice that as you are picking her up, she's like going through Beraald's pockets and like just looking for any treat that she can find. And did Beraald have anything on him, or is she gonna come up? She's gonna come up empty.
She is going to come up with some kind of extremely bland, like the equivalent of a Werther's Originals. Something in the pocket that is just like the most disappointing quote treat. That is what she finds.
So as you break away from this hug, you notice that she is currently chewing on there is, if you take a certain type of plant and break off the stem and let it like dry out, it's a little sweet to chew on, and it kind of acts more like a stomach settler than a like treat, but it is a little sweet. And you notice that she has managed to lift this from your pocket, and she's currently chewing on it. And the expression on her face as you back away from this hug, you get that flash of, oh right, I'm supposed to be crying, and she goes back to like the lips quivering and the tears forming. But meanwhile, she's chewing like she's got her hands in her mouth and she's chewing on this thing. It's just the worst, Beraald. I can't believe that they don't have any more anything.
Oh, you are okay. I can't be mad at you. I saw what you did.
Can we call it Blackroot? Do you actually
Sure.
have a name?
I don't have a name.
Okay, I would like it to be Blackroot because of Willow.
Sure.
Okay.
Make a note of it, somebody somewhere.
Yep.
I probably won't remember it, but somebody else can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Lucy,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
will that tide you over? Because I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, dear.
I suppose if that's all there is, it'll be okay. Like, as she's chewing, it's becoming more and more strained. Like, she's getting less and less good at this.
Can I give her little, let's say there is a particular type of scritch that she likes, like up underneath her. Let me pick a spot on Lucy that she really likes. Like right underneath her left back leg.
Right.
There's just a little, right where that joint is.
Right.
And I'm scritching her there and going, yeah.
I know. It's terrible. I know.
And she's got this thing. She's got this thing in her mouth. She's chewing on it. Her back leg's going. Riisha, you stare at Gobta, and then you fish around inside of this the bag that you keep Gobta in. And you spend a couple minutes, and you spend like you're staring deeply into Gobta's eyes, and then you feel something stuck to the bottom of the bag. And you pull at it, and it is a very smashed, very dirty piece of licorice. Like, it has been in the bottom of this bag probably since before you owned this bag.
Lucy, I know it's not much, but you can have the last piece.
Lucy just the act completely falls. The foot stops and she is like barreling. So she's the size of a very large dog, right? Like she's big. So
Yes.
there are people who are like being shoved out of the way and tables and stuff moving. And Riisha, she is in your arms, and you have like a full side of raccoon in your face as she is currently trying to extract this thing from your hand. And she's just like pawing at you.
And there she goes.
Yeah, she would have knocked you over.
Riisha,
Yeah. So Risha's like lying on the ground. The gob to skull has skittered across the floor and is currently sitting underneath another table in the shadows, and there's a very, very faint green glow that some of you may or may not notice. And I think this sort of chaos continues on into the evening as the place kind of clears out. Lucy seems mollified. Padragain has left the room at this point. Zari and Amari are nowhere to be seen because they are being private. And the evening wears on. And if there's nothing else, anybody has anything for tonight, we will go on to tomorrow.
Only that Beraald would give Riisha a big thank you eyes. That's that.
All right. So there has been several days. So pulling back from the game a little bit, there have been several days where you guys can have investigated into the box of holding. So I would like at this point everybody to make me a roll on getting into that. Again, like before, it's roll. Let me know what sort of thing you're looking for, and then roll a d20. And I gotta find my list. There it is.
I'm sorry. What box is this?
Oh,
This is-
well, Beraald may not know. So you guys probably should introduce Beraald to the box of holding as well. You would recognize the box because that's where Lumi was. When there was Lumi in the box.
Okay.
Lumi in a box.
Lumi in a box.
But it also has a bunch of stuff in it from before we had it, and we don't know what all's in there.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find my list of them.
Lumi might,
so that-
Yeah, go.
Lumi might suggest on the night of before traveling. The thing that had the recipe for how to get the coffers. It had some magic incantation to allow you to empty it without knowing its contents. Anyone think that would work on the box?
I was thinking the same thing. But what's the magic word? Do we threaten it? Do we ask nicely? Do we
Hold your
stab
knife up
it?
to it and see what it does.
Do
So
boxes feel pain?
that I'm not gonna
What
wander
was
into
the-
that.
What was the
Um,
incantation from the Blue Rock the directions?
So the incantation from the Blue Rock is Dragon's Horde.
That's how to retrieve something from it.
That is the keyword to retrieve stuff from the Blue Rock, basically to open up the extra dimensional space, or rather make the extra dimensional space give you its contents without you knowing what's inside of it.
the extra dimensional space in the box.
in the Blue Rocks
Or the-
Adventurers Guild.
So
Oh.
the Blue Rock Adventure Guild has a space that if we say Dragon's Horde added and do a couple other things, it'll give us what's inside. We are thinking that the box has the same function. We just don't know the
Okay.
word to make it do it.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Have
Oh,
I
so this-
tried using identify on the box?
You have successfully identified this is a box of holding, and it has a minor curse on it that prevents you from being able to invert it to empty its contents like you would normally be able to with a bag of holding.
Oh, wait, I have an
And that-
idea.
And that didn't give me a command word.
Did not give you a command word.
Okay.
You learned that there was a command word from an alchemist that you ran into in the tunnels, whose name I'm forgetting.
Zari has idea.
Okay,
During our private time,
sure,
could I have asked as we were doing small talk?
sure.
Could I have asked Amari if she knows anything about the box, specifically a password for it?
Give me a. Would that be persuasion? Give me a persuasion roll first. 16. All right. So they're not going to ask you to return the box to them as it is a member of the government, because they like you a lot. Now give me a luck roll for Amari. Did Amari... Oh, no, give me it would be a history roll, actually. It would be at a plus probably 2. So somebody roll for Amari, D20 plus 2. DC is going to be 18.
That's an 8.
So they have heard of boxes like this. They do not know this specific one.
Darn. It's worth a shot.
Yep. All
Does
right.
she know where we might find the password?
Well, if you can find somebody who knows the password, or if they were dumb enough to write it down and leave it in a desk.
Well, hopefully City Hall hasn't fallen into the hole by now.
All
Okay.
right.
Thanks anyway, sweetie.
Well, yeah, anything to keep you safer. It's probably got something good in it if they're spending that much effort to keep it closed. All right, so everybody can roll me. Give me a type of item that you're looking for, and then roll a d20 for luck.
Okay, I'm going to look for any kind of like scrolls. See if whoever had this last wrote anything down and put it in there.
Okay.
That might be of interesting use.
So, thinking of scrolls, you reach into this box, and you come back with a magical scroll. Arcana would identify it. Or identify, I guess, would also identify it. Scroll, it is the scroll of Otuluk's Freezing Sphere.
Neat.
So feel free to add that to your inventory, and I will remove it from the box.
Leather armor?
So you reach in, and your fingertips brush something leatherish, but you aren't able to grasp a hold of it.
I
Oh, God, something's leather in there.
I would like to sorry. I would like to look for licorice or some kind of licorice herb. It's the thing that is currently on mind.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, laws.
So you reach around for a while and you don't feel anything, and you don't get any sense of anything.
Okay.
Okay, Zari is going to look for a wand. This fox hates me.
Yes, apparently.
I feel like it's not liking any of us.
Zara, you spend like half an hour. Like your head goes inside this box at some point, and everybody else gets that. Can she breathe? Is she breathing in there? What's going on? And eventually, Beraald and Lucy pull on your legs to like get you back out, and your lips are blue, and you're like, almost had it. I almost had it.
I swear, I'm going to figure out this box if it's the last thing I do.
All right, Riisha.
Careful with the dying. Sorry, we don't have enough opals yet.
Yeah, Zari, are you okay?
I kick it before I walk to the other side of the room.
Okay.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Riisha, you spend some time reaching around the box, and you come up with nothing. All right, so let's say that takes part of the day, and it as evening is starting to roll around. The griffin, it's not yet evening. Ignore that. But one of the troop of Iris's people comes over and says, they said that the boarding should start soon. We'll be leaving in a couple hours, and we want to get everybody settled onto the ship before we go.
All right. Thank you. We'll be right over.
They nod, head back out.
Lumi, does the big cat form runs around to all the rooms and shoulder checks the door so the latches make sound.
So anybody who wasn't in the main room, you hear a rattle and a meow going past. Go ahead.
I would just, before we go, I would like Beraald to have asked Zari if there is anything she can possibly do to find some sort of licorice substitute that we could plant and have growing or something.
I had an idea about that, and I stayed up last night, and I made some star anise cookies.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Give me a whatever your cooking skill is roll.
Cooking utensils.
With a 16, these are like a ginger snap type cookie. It's got.
I use some of the oatmeal, so they're oatmeal. They're oatmeal star anise.
Oh, that actually sounds tasty. But I like licorice flavors. So yes, you have a dozen of these cookies that you have secreted. into where have you secreted them, Zari, to prevent Lucy from just losing her mind and tackling you?
Ouch.
So I put them in a strong box inside McGirl's inside
Oh,
McGirl's boulette house.
That is so smart.
All right. So yep, there are these cookies there.
So Zari walks in from the backyard, and has a box in it, and goes up, and is like, "Hey, Lucy, I got something for you."
You have 100 pounds of raccoon that is like barreling into your shins, and then like remembering that she's supposed to be a good girl and she's not doesn't climb up for you up you, but is like chittering at you.
Okay, now I made these specially for you, but we need to make them last, so I'm going to hold on to them. But this one is for you today, okay? You only get one a day, and then when we find some flour, I'll make you some more. So here you go.
There's a leap, and as you're lowering the cookie down, there's like a unk sound as Lucy like eats the cookie, and you're surprised that you have fingers left. They're kind of damp as the cookie is gone, and Lucy is like chewing and like she is covered in crumbs, and she's like moving the crumbs towards her lips so she can lick them off of her face, and you get a shoulder check. Yeah, you get a shoulder check from her, but it's obvious like this is like a oh my god, thank you shoulder check. If you've ever had a big dog that does that sort of thing. And Beraald, after Lucy like finishes, she comes over to you and goes, "Well, I think Zari's my favorite now."
Yes.
Yes. Lucy, that was very, very nice of Sorry. And
so she didn't understand when I said thank you, but please can I have another cookie? So could you let her know thank you, and please can I have another cookie?
Okay, I will let her know thank you. But you have to remember what she said. Only one a day.
The please have another cookie is very important, though.
You know, some days, Lucy, it is important, but we have to learn patience. I will let Sorry know that you said thank you and that you are excited for tomorrow's cookie. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can do this.
She looks very unsure.
I know you can. You're such a good girl, Lucy. I know you can do this.
All right. So
God, I almost had Beraald say, "You want to make me proud, don't you?" And then all of my dysfunctional parent fear just went, no. Sorry, what were you guys going to say?
The cat moses on by and goes, meow.
you guys, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just curious how Lucy and Lumi Cat get along.
I don't know. Lucy smells like Lumi recognizes Lumi's smell from Lumi Cat, but they can't talk with each other.
Okay.
Why don't you go? Maybe you can go Oh, I don't know. I don't know if this will bother Lumi, but maybe you can ask to play with Lumi.
Yeah, that's a
Cat.
great idea. And she like she goes to mess with you, Lumi, like not in a mean way, but definitely an animal play way.
I just do a quick skibbity pap, non-clawed,
Right.
as in, Abba,
You
no, no.
boop the snoot.
Boop the snoot. All right. So you discourage Lucy's loosiness. And you guys eventually work your way through the city or through the town and out to the Burgundy Baron on the lake. As you're there, you see Iris along with a small crew of people awaiting on the shore. There is a few people from the ship currently rowing the longboat back to the shore. And as you guys walk up, Iris goes, good. They think we'll be ready as soon as everybody's loaded. Wind conditions aren't great, but we should be able to make pretty good time.
Okay.
About this time, the longboat pulls up, and the person on board goes, "There's room for 6." Iris looks at your group and goes, "Well, go ahead."
The cat becomes not a cat, and Lumi says, "Now you should go first." And goes, use the second wild shape of the day to go owl and fly over.
Okay. So one member of Iris's crew joins you as the rest of you get on board. So Lumi, you join Rockjaw. Name escapes. Jawbreaker. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that. Up in the top of the rigging. Jawbreaker is currently having a staring contest with a member of the crew who's up in the crow's nest.
The member of the crew gets a second staring contest going at him.
And they say, kind of muttering to themselves, "What is it with the owls lately?" Jawbreaker goes, "Whoo!"
Well, in any animal form Lumi has, his starry eye is also present in the animal form. So this is an odd owl in addition.
Right. All right. So you guys are brought back to the ship. It's a hard, similar climb to last time, climbing up the rope ladder. At this point, Lucy, attempts the rope ladder. She does not have a climb speed, right? I think we gave her a dig speed instead.
Yes. Let me confirm that.
Thought it was the other way around. You were using the Badger stats, which come with a burrow speed, but you switched it to a climb speed.
Okay, I don't remember which.
Thank you so much for tracking this.
Because if she has a climb speed, she just clambers up the rope ladder, no problem. If she still has a burrow speed, then it's a lot more of a challenge for her because she's the wrong shape.
But we did have her burrow. We had the idea of her burrowing when we were first meeting, when we were in the cave.
Sure. So
I wanted her to dig.
She has a burrow speed. Okay, so so
20 feet.
Okay, so she has a lot of trouble climbing this rope ladder. And it's not very long until a couple of the crew members are, instead of like helping people on board, just grab a hold of the ropes and go, tell the raccoon to just hold on.
Lucy, just hold on.
And the moment Lucy like stops clambering, there's just a heave, and the rope ladder with Lucy on it gets heaved up into the boat. At which point she skitters towards the center of the ship, and the rope ladder is lowered back down to whomever is coming up next. I'm not gonna make you the rest of you roll. It's
Okay.
it's not fun. Like climbing a rope ladder, if you've never done it in real life, it's not terribly fun. But it seems to be fairly well fitted to the ship, and so it's while it's not stable, it at the very least is climbable. You guys all make it up on board. The ship goes out back across, and it looks like it's got one more load to bring back. And so you all are on board, and it is crowded here. Between the let's go back to Baron. Between the crew on board, and which number in the tens, like there's 20 something crew, and the 30, 40-ish people, the 30, 40-ish people of Iris's crew, and the 6 of you, it is full, and the the orc, or no, there's a half elf who isn't the captain, who's currently like organizing people, and it's like, all right, get your materials stored below. We'll have the guests. We'll have our guests sleeping up here on the weather deck, and then on the main cannon deck. Find a hole you can curl up in, because we're gonna be a little crowded for a couple days. As you guys like move through the ship, you realize that everybody's gonna be on top of each other for the couple of days that it will take to travel. Well, considering if what they're saying about flying is correct, and the captain comes out of this door here, closes it behind him, and looks at the other half elf and goes, Nathaniel, are we ready to cast off? And the half elf turns to the captain and goes, yep. Yes, sir. We'll be ready very soon. Just got to get the last few people on board, and there's the last crew, and starts yelling some commands at the crew members. The longboat is hauled around to the back of the ship, where a couple of crane arms lower down and hoisted up onto the back of the ship. The captain goes, all right, unfurl the sails and let's get going. And the sails unfurl. Meanwhile, there's a capstan on the front of the ship that's being wound by about 4 crew members that is currently hauling up the anchor. And with the sails unfurling, there is a shift in the deck. And your knees feel wobbly, and it doesn't feel right. And there is a definite sense of acceleration, and the boat is moving forward towards the dam. And the crew is calling back and forth to each other. There's a bunch of people pulling on lines. The captain has made their way up to the top of the deck. The person he called Nathaniel is currently on the wheel. There's a couple of levers beside the wheel that they're pulling and pushing on, and the dam is getting closer. You guys can see the lip of the dam ahead of you, and the ship is picking up speed. It's getting faster, and it will ram into this deck, and ram into the dam. And there's this weird jelly-like feeling in your legs as the ship picks up speed.
Lumiel has been perching on the rigging and starts unfurling its wings, ready to take off if the ship crashes.
And this is all our first time on an airship.
Oh yeah, you've never seen a ship fly. As far as you have seen ships in the ocean moving like this, but like you've never seen something to prove that this thing can fly.
Yep.
Riisha, are you out on the bowsprit like that? Like I gotta know. Are you out all the way out in the front? Yep. So Riisha, you are the first to witness as the hull of the boat, like from where you can sit, you can see the water level, like you can see the curve of the bottom of the boat, like coming up out of the water. The rest of you being on deck, Lumi included from that angle, it just feels like you're just gonna ram the boat is just gonna ram the dam. You can't really see any appreciable rise, and as the boat gets to the dam, there is a slight like vibration that pulls through the hull, and I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
What if Zari has already found a spot next to a cannon and is taking a nap?
Then you're already prone and you won't be knocked it. All right, Riisha, you're fine. Lumi and Jawbreaker don't need to because you're birds.
That was Lumi's whole thinking of being a bird. If this thing goes pear shaped, I'm flying out.
Right.
I would like to say that Beraald is like clutching Lucy, afraid that she is going to launch herself over the edge. This whole thing is extremely unnerving for him. So with my 9,
Beraald and Iberkeet, you like it's not a big shock, and none of the crew seems to notice. Although a lot of the members of Iris's group are knocked down as the ship fully leaves the water. Iris herself is fine. She's taking this like a champion. She may have been on a flying ship before. You don't know. Riisha, you are given the glorious visage of the ship clearing the dam by maybe a foot. And it's not very long until you all see the city of Miiva beneath you as this thing sails first over the dam and then over the section of river between the dam and Miiva. And then by the time it's over Miiva, it's probably 250 feet in the air. And you can see people in the city looking up at you. A couple of them wave. Amari is looking at the ship. Padragain is as well. And it is surprisingly calm as the sails fully unfurl. start catching the wind. There's creaking of ropes, but otherwise quiet as this sailing vessel sails into the afternoon sun. The crew itself, at this point they have established the sails trim. The Nathaniel is like adjusting the wheel a little bit and then locking off its location. The Captain Raimondo comes down to see all y'all, notices Zari sleeping against a cannon, sees the rest of you out on deck, some of you picking yourselves up, and goes, "See? Flying ship. You guys had no trust."
I don't know that I have more trust now, as Beraald is standing up and like wiping himself off. This
Here.
is a bumpy ride. Yeah.
Follow me. I will show you my flying ship.
Okay.
The captain, Iris comes with you as well. Captain leads you below the weather deck into the gun deck. This place has about 6-foot ceilings, but that is not inclusive of the 2 feet of like bracing that goes across the width of the ship. So it's, the seal, like the very top of the ceiling is 6 feet, but then every probably 15 feet along, there's a big beam that goes across, that reduces its height significantly. Maybe not 2 feet, probably closer to 1. But as you come down here, you see a glowing sigil that is etched into the ceiling of this floor. And it goes, this sigil keeps people from being flung overboard, although they can still jump.
How?
How does it keep people from being flung? Wind, mostly. So,
Okay. A player question.
Yeah.
Do I know a sigil is just a symbol, right?
Yeah, sigil usually it implies like arcane or other magical effect.
So basically, it's a spell.
Yeah, it's basically a spell. Yep.
Okay.
And it is glowing appreciatively.
And
Looking down at Lucy,
you and then looking back at the captain, you are sure
I mean,
that.
as long as it's.
See, I already don't like it.
I mean, if you are worried about your pet, you should keep her below.
Oh boy, you do not know my pet. But thank you. That is good to know. I appreciate it.
All right, so Lumi, you flare out your wings, and you find that to get airspeed, you have to flap a bit, and it is moving at about walking speed, maybe 3 or 4 miles per hour. You can easily fly faster than this thing. You looking at the ground from up here, you think that you could probably walk on the ground without a terrible amount of effort as fast as this thing. And Criior could sleep for an hour and then catch up with it with no problem. The captain goes, "Well, follow me if you don't mind," and heads down to the next deck. The next deck is full of hammocks. There's a bunch of hammocks in this room, about half of which are occupied. There are a few crew members here. working on something. The place is magically lit by sconces in the walls. He's like, and this is the flight deck, and you can see just faintly glowing on every surface in here, more runes, basically filling this space. It's hard to learn to sleep at first, but get people tired enough they can sleep even if it's glowing daylight outside.
Do the runes make that happen?
I don't know if this is Mia or Beraald actually asking. Would I understand?
The runes keep us in the air. The light can keep people awake.
Ah.
And below is the hold. It holds things. I will not be taking you down there.
Oh?
Well, it's full of the things that we want to trade.
Oh, okay.
Mia, can you please
Hi.
give me a perception check for Lucy?
For Lucy. Ah, la 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 la. Where is my... Come on, Mia. Where is Lucy?
Riisha, it's not very long until there's somebody from the crew who's asked you a specific sea shanty that you don't know, but is humming it at you for you to copy so that they can sing the sea shanty to your music box. Or wait, your music box just plays the music. So they're very disappointed when they find out that the music box just plays the same tune. Lucy has lost interest at this point and has climbed back up to the top deck.
Lucy. Oh.
I think I would like Beraald to follow her up.
Okay.
I think he does not trust any of this and is afraid he's going to lose her.
Right. Lucy has like gone back up to the top deck and is currently like sitting where she can see over the rails right next to right next to Zari. Criior has found a place and is currently seeing how fast he can run from the front end of the ship to the back end of the ship on the second deck without bonking his head. Over and around and so on and so forth. Go ahead. Sorry, Mia.
I was just going to lean over and just say,
Sorry, I know I've been asking you a lot of Lucy favors, but could you help me keep an eye on her?
Oh, yeah, I got her.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
There is a dinging of a bell after about half an hour of flight. There is a dinging of the bell from the quarterdeck, and you see the top men coming down out of the sails, and other sailors climbing up out from the living deck. I don't know what to call it. The deck with all the hammocks in it. And one of the things that you guys notice after a little while is that while this ship is only traveling at a walking pace, it is always traveling at a walking pace. And it is going in a very direct line. Like, you occasionally will see the river and the road that runs next to the river kind of wander off away from the line the ship is taking. Iris has found the captain at this point, and she asks, how long a flight is it? the captain goes, should be 2 days. 3 days would get us all the way to town. To call it 2.5. We can get you about a day of walk away. Any closer than that, and we risk. Do not like risk. At which point the captain digs into his pocket, pulls out another candy, and sticks it in his mouth. In the meanwhile, with the change of shift or change of watch, should be food soon. You paid for the trip, so supplied food you will be. Feel free to join on cannon deck. And he heads back up onto the back quarter deck and takes over the wheel from Nathaniel. So couple of carpenters, or the couple of kobolds, come up from below deck, and one of them grabs a rope that just is laying in a coil on the main deck, and tosses an end of it to the other one, who ties it to the capstan that was used to haul up the anchor. The anchor chain is then removed from the capstan, and the first kobold throws the line over the edge of the boat, and then proceeds to jump off the edge of the boat, holding onto the line. And there is a conversation back and forth in Draconic as this person hangs off of the thing. You can see it like swinging as they like move along the side of the ship. Pure confidence in what they're doing. Occasionally the other kobold will like let some more line out or pull some more line in order to give the one that's hanging off the side of the ship access to whatever they're looking for. Eventually they're pulled back onto the front of the boat, and then they leap off the other side, still holding onto the rope. Lucy says, just kind of to space, "Ooh, that kind of looks like fun."
No. Hey, I heard that. It's not fun. Don't get any ideas.
Did you find any licorice? Oh, Zari's here. Zari, you now have a raccoon that is trying to paw you ever so subtly.
Huh? So are we crashing?
So you just have Lucy next to you, who is studiously looking over the edge of the ship, has a paw on like your side, and is like moving your side around to see if she can find the bag or the whatever's holding the
You're
cookies.
not gonna find it. You're not gonna find him there, Puffball.
She chitters back at you.
Yes, I know. Only 12 more hours.
Riisha, as you spider climb underneath the ship, the kobold speaks at you in Draconic, which I'm assuming you do not understand. Kind of questioningly, but seeing you not respond, just shrugs his shoulders, or shrugs. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Shrugs their shoulders, and then swings like kicks off of the ship, swings back and forth, and gets themselves fully underneath the center of the keel, and grabs a hold of the keel itself. and points at something on it and looks at you after having said something.
Doesn't seem very clean down here. But then again, neither is anything that's ever in water for that long. You would think that the thing that we take our baths in would keep things clean, but no.
He holds, or they hold a mallet out to you and then point at that spot again.
Oh, I get to whack things?
They don't understand what you're saying, but they're making motions that yes, whacking things is in the plan.
Bet. Riisha literally runs up to it and just whacks away.
All right, give me a strength roll, please, since I do not believe you are proficient in carpenter's tools.
Correct.
You hit this thing pretty hard. After like 2 or 3 hits, they like make stopping motions at you.
Oh. Okay. Well,
And
there you go.
they take the hammer back, get a thumbs up, and they climb the rope back to the top of the ship.
I resume my perch.
Right. So it's not long after your wild shape ends, Lumi, that the bell tolls again and another shift change happens. At this point, you guys have been fed food. It's food. It definitely is on par with the food that you had been being fed in town. Definitely travel like provisions, stuff that is preserved and rehydrated or otherwise thing. There is, however, fresh meat involved. And the captain finds you, Lumi, and Iris, and probably Zari. Are you still asleep?
No, I'm awake.
So finds you because you're the biggest, Lumi because Lumi does the most talking, and Iris because she is obviously in charge of the other crew, and goes, do you mind if we go hunting a little? It's only maybe half a day out of the way.
I don't see a problem with it. Wait, are there skyfish?
Hunting, I said, not fishing.
I mean, isn't fishing just water hunting?
No. And Iris goes, I think that will be okay. What are you hunting? And the captain goes, but what else would you hunt in the sky? You hunt the rocks.
Skyfish.
No, rocks. And I think we'll go ahead and end it there. So thank you to players for playing. Thank you to everybody for watching. It has been great having you here. Bye.